What's up, everybody? Welcome back to By the Book Bonus Bets. My name is Nejad. This is McDonald. And Meg, we're always futures forward on Monumental Plus. Let's talk about the Big Ten championship odds. We're going to pull up the odds right now. And Meg, I want to get your take on a couple of these teams, maybe where you're going to lay your money here. We got Oregon at plus 130, Ohio State plus 145, a slight drop off to Penn State. And oh, look there. Indiana, fourth, ahead of Michigan. This is pretty crazy, right? What do you think of that?
I love the story of this Indiana team. We know Cignetti is a great coach, but he is the first coach in program history to start 7-0 for the Indiana Hoosiers. He's never had a losing season as a head coach in 14 years. So I love that Indiana has shorter odds than the former national champions in Michigan. And yes, we know this team is very different for the Wolverines, right? A new head coach, brand new players, but they're a shell of their former selves. But the undefeated Indiana Hoosiers, as you can see, lots of stats being pulled up. Check out the Big Ten standings. See a 4-0 in conference play. Of course, Oregon is too, but I think the expectations for Dillon Gabriel were a lot higher than our guy at Indiana, who, yes, suffered, I'm talking about the quarterback that is in Rourke, suffered an injury this past week versus their absolute shellacking over the Nebraska Cornhuskers at home. Unfortunately, I took the points with Nebraska. That didn't feel too good, but it was always going to be Indiana. They looked really, really good. However, he did have surgery on Monday, and it does appear from the reports that I've seen that maybe the injury, the hand injury, maybe isn't as serious as they thought after they kind of went in, did some surgical repairs. I have seen some potential timelines. Of course, we're all speculating here that he could be back as early as in 2 weeks versus Michigan State. So Indiana has to play Washington. They probably won't have their starting quarterback, but it just feels like Cignetti is such a good coach that they're going to have this team ready. So I'm just happy about this team. And so if you want to take a ticket 10-1 and think that they can keep it rolling, even if the fact that they might not have their starting quarterback for 1 week might not be the worst thing. It is projected that he might come back a little earlier. Okay, so you think the plus 1,000 ticket on Indiana is kind of like a fun ticket. It's hey, it's plus 1,000. Let's check it out. This is a good story. But if somebody were to say, okay, where are we actually putting our big dollars, or if we could only make one bet, what team in the Big Ten is it going to be on? Yeah, you know, see, I've kind of been on Ohio State, Ohio State's like bandwagon all season long, and that was more of a fade of the SEC because they can all beat up on each other. That whole conference is like 5-1 at this point. So I liked Ohio State to win a national championship. I like them because they don't have the toughest schedule. Now, they do play Indiana later on in the season, which that might be their most difficult test, quite frankly. Of course, they play Penn State. James Franklin, I've never been a big believer in James Franklin and Penn State. I've always kind of faded him in those big spots. So I think Ohio State can kind of take care of business in that capacity as well. Outside of that, they play like not just the Vanderbilts, and Vanderbilt's been playing better. Maybe it's not Vanderbilt, maybe it's someone else, but it's just they don't have a tough schedule. So I've been riding this Ohio State team pretty much all season long, more of a fade of the SEC to win a national championship, but you're getting plus 145 odds to win the Big Ten. Maybe I'm just not quite believing in Dillon Gabriel at Oregon. It could be a fade on that, but I've been riding Ohio State, so I'm going to keep it going.
Fair enough. Plus 145 on Ohio State. If you want to just sprinkle a little bit on Indiana for fun, that's maybe fine too, but plus 145 on Ohio State, that's the play, correct?
Yes, and Cignetti's kind of a football guy, and we love to see that.
Where did Indiana steal Cignetti from?
Oh, that's crazy. JMU? Maybe?
One of the best programs in the country, at least in my book, maybe not in other people's book. All right.
Hey, he took that program to new heights.
He really did. All right, it's Ohio State to win the Big Ten at plus 145. So much more content coming up on By the Book. You can catch our show Monday through Friday at 5:30. And, of course, all of this Futures Forward content on By the Book bonus bets. We'll see you next time.